Assalamualaikum and good evening to everyone. My name is Hazratul Syaza binti Hanif and my partner's name is Intan Farhana binti Muhammad Sabri, and we will present about the thematic apperception test. The topic that we will present to you guys is introduction of thematic apperception test, the purpose of thematic apperception test, and feature and application of thematic apperception test. And now my partner Intan Farhana will present about the introduction of thematic apperception test.
Thank you, Hazratul Syaza. So I will continue to explain about the introduction of the thematic apperception test. Before I explain more deeply about this thematic apperception test, first let me explain about what is apperception. According to Blue Sea 2015 and Denziger 1918, apperception is a psychological interpretation of the mind which is meshed with the observation and experience that processed by a person. So, what is the thematic apperception test? Thematic apperception test is a projective test that involves describing a visual scene to learn more about the person's emotion, motivation, and personality. So this thematic apperception test also known as the picture interpretation technique. Thematic apperception test, also called STAT, that refers to a psychological personality test that focuses on the subconscious dynamic of person's personality. According to Kramer 1996, TAT has been characterized by a series of picture cards that subject must tell a story about it. Compared to other type of personality tests, this TAT utilizes open-ended question to reveal aspects of person's personality. Then, this function of TAT useful in revealing patient dominant motivations, emotion, and core personality conflict. This TAT, thematic apperception test, was developed by American psychology Henry M. Murray and Christina T. Morgan in 1933. They believed that material derived from the test could serve as the X-ray of personality. Murray also came up with a theory about this TAT that called Murray theory. Murray theory was focused on how people react with their environment, how the effects by external force, how their attitude, need, and value influence their reaction to world. And Murray also developed a list of 28 needs and 24 foreseeable pause in person environment named as a press, and the concept was called pattern of relate need and press. Okay, next I will explain about the purpose of thematic apperception test. The purpose of thematic apperception test was useful as a tool to help people learn more about a person's personality. In other words, this test acts as something of an icebreaker while providing useful information of potential emotional conflict to the client may have. Furthermore, the TAT is often used as a therapeutic tool to allow client to express feeling in an indirect way. A client may not be able to express a certain feeling directly, but they might be able to identify their emotions when viewed from an outside perspective. Besides, TAT also purports to explore the term related to the person's life experience. A client who dealing with a problem such as a job loss, divorce, and health issues might be interpret the ambiguous scene and relating to their unique circumstances, allowing deeper exploration over the course of therapy. Next, TAT also proposes use as evaluation in crime suspect and clinical assessment. Clinicians may administer the test to criminals to assess the risk of recidivism or to determine if a person matches the profile of a crime suspect. Another purpose of TAT was used as assesses someone or psychology condition. The test is something used as a tool to assess personality or the disorder, and also used by the counselor to understanding a problem. Last but not least, screening job candidate also a purpose of TAT. This is something used to determine if people are suited to the particular roles, especially positions that require cope with stress and evaluation vague situations such as a military leadership and law enforcement possession. So that's all from me. Thank you. So my partner will continue explain about the features of thematic apperception test.
How do you perform a TAT test? The TAT test is performed by showing a subject a series of black and white picture cards. Generally, a subject is shown 5 to 12 cards during one session. The subject is asked to tell a story about each picture card based on the following questions. First, what has led up to the event shown? Second, what is happening at the moment? Third, what the characters are feeling and thinking. And last one, what the outcome of the story was. The picture cards. Out of the 31 cards, 30 cards are picture cards, all black and white, which contain a variety of scenes designed to present the test taker with certain classical human situations. One card is left blank where participants are asked to imagine a picture and then tell a story about it. The original 31 cards were divided into 3 categories: for use with men only, with women only, or for use with subjects or other sex. In practice, an examiner might administer as few as 1 or 2 cards or as many as 31. So this is an example of an image that will appear on a TAT picture card. Okay, next is interpretations of cards. In interpreting responses to the TAT, examiners typically focus their attention on one of 3 areas. A. The content of the stories that the subject tells. B. The feeling or tone of the stories and the participant. C. The subject's behavior apart from responses. These behaviors may include verbal remarks, for example, comments about feeling stressed by the situation or not being a good storyteller, as well as non-verbal actions or signs such as blushing, stammering, fidgeting in the chair. The story structure typically reflects the subject's feelings, assumptions about the world, and an underlying attitude of optimism or pessimism. Scoring systems. Several formal scoring systems have been developed for analyzing TAT stories systematically and consistently. 3 common methods that are currently used in research are Defense Mechanisms Manual, Social Cognition and Object Relations (SCOR) Scale, Personal Problem Solving System, revised PPSS-R. The 3 levels of interpretation suggested by Belak and Abram 1997 are: first, descriptive level. Descriptive level, it is the mere repeat of the story. Interpretative level, it extends the descriptive level by an alteration of it. If one does the X, then the outcome will be Y. The diagnostic level, it is the further extension that an inference is made about the client. Last but not least is application of TAT. There are 5 applications of TAT. Firstly, personality assessment. It helps to evaluate a person's pattern of thought, attitudes, observational capacity, and emotional responses to ambiguous test materials. Secondly, expectations. Reveals the expectations of participants in relationships with peers, parents, or other authority figures, subordinates, and possible romantic partners. Next is recruitment. The TAT is often used in individual assessments of candidates for employment in fields requiring a high degree of skill in dealing with others and ability to cope with high levels of psychological stress, such as law enforcement and military leadership positions. The other applications of TAT is forensic purpose. TAT is sometimes used for forensic purpose in evaluating the motivations and general attitudes of persons accused of violent crimes. And last but not least is consumer behavior. TAT is widely used to study consumer perceptions and motivations. So that's all from me. Thank you.